Hi, this is my original Look at the Stars. We might be a million miles away. We might not know what to say. We're always rushing, always gotta be somewhere. We're always running, we forget to look at what's important tonight. I hope you look at the stars. I hope you see where you are. I hope you appreciate what you have before it's gone. I hope you turn the lights on. I hope you thank everyone for the memories you hold and never forget as we grow old tonight. Hope you look at the stars. Hi, my name is Tasha Hillman from Vancouver, British Columbia, and I'm the next guest on Rob's Inner Circle. Don't go anywhere, stay right where you are. We'll be right back.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Robert DeLesso, and I am the host of Rob's Inner Circle, broadcasting worldwide. I'd like to give a shout out to the producer of Rob's Inner Circle, Jenny Duhame, and to the podcast techie on our show, Patty, Lady Starlight Saragossa. Well, great news, folks. As of last week, we're broadcasting on two other platforms, and one of them being my personal page on LinkedIn, and the other one, my Twitter account as well. So we're broadcasting right now on 6 different social media platforms, and this is all thanks to you. Our show is growing more and more. This is all your suggestions, and hey, we're doing it for you. So an announcement in terms of birthdays, our good friend and the Bobby Short Shorts cameraman, Joseph G, celebrated his birthday this past Saturday, and we wanted to say a very happy birthday to you, Joseph G. The Seriously Live broadcast team was at it again on July 2nd when yours truly, Jenny Duhame, and Esther Brzezinski met up with our Daily Struggles co-star and a rockhead frontman, Art LeDuc. He and his band would perform before a very energetic audience at Scotty's Bar, located at 3979 Taschereau Boulevard in St. Hubert. We'd like to congratulate you, Art, and your band for such a fine performance. Also, while we were at that show, Jenny Duhame, our Seriously Live co-host and the producer of Rob's Inner Circle, she met up with a very talented young man, the songwriter David Sean. David and Jen were talking about all his recent accomplishments and all his great songs and all the great work that he's done in the past. You can catch up with David Sean by going on to his self-titled YouTube channel, and you can check out his latest hit called Still Alive. On behalf of myself and everybody here at Rob's Inner Circle, we would love to give our congratulations to both Teresa Pichano and Ionis Katrubis for the constant flow of nominations and prizes for your exceptional work in the film industry. It's not that we don't want to mention which awards you've been getting or nominations. It's too hard to keep up because every day there's something new. So we wanted to tip our hats to both of you for the excellent work that you've been doing in the film industry. Be sure to watch Daily Struggles, this sitcom everyone is talking about, on the RiseUp TV channel on the Roku streaming service. Download the Roku app on your smart devices, or you can get the Roku stick at Amazon for as little as $30. Make sure you watch all our productions on the Bobby Short Shorts YouTube channel. You want to comment, share, click on that like button, subscribe to the Bobby Short Shorts YouTube channel, and hit that notification bell, because Every time there's a new production coming out, you will be the first to know. Well, folks, it's that time once again. It's time to relax, sit back, kick up your feet on the edge of the table. Let us carry the load and enjoy the show. We have an exceptional artist, a very young talent coming to you all the way from Western Canada, to be exact, not Victoria, Vancouver, British Columbia. And that's in the farthest part of Canada, all the way west. She's a triple threat. She's a dancer, she's a singer, and she's also an actress. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me give a warm welcome to tonight's star attraction on Rob's Inner Circle, Miss Tasha Hillman.
We might be a million miles away. We let life get in the way. Always forgetting, empty apologies, saying things we didn't mean. We're always busy, can't make time for someone until they're gone. So tonight, hope you look at the stars. Hope you see where you are. You appreciate what you have before it's gone. Hope you turn the lights on. Hope you thank everyone for the memories you hold. And don't forget as we grow old tonight, hope you look at the stars.
What a
Yay.
performance by you, Tasha Hillman. Wow, thank you so much for being on our show. We're absolutely delighted to have such a bright artist as yourself. And hey, you're not just anybody, you're a triple threat.
Thank you so much for having me today.
So, for those of you who recalled on our 100th show celebration, Tasha was part of all those wonderful people we had on the show, the likes of, we had Serena Haggerty on there, and we had other artists as well, a local Montreal artist, Rachel Dara. We had Teresa Pichano on there, Claudio Silvio Capri. It was such a great show. You can go into the Bobby Short Shorts YouTube channel, click on the playlist, Rob's Inner Circle, and go watch that show. It's an absolutely delightful show. So tell us, Tasha, you were quite busy this weekend. Something really exceptional happened. So share this with our audience.
Well, I worked. No, for real, I got to go to Shawn Mendes this weekend and Dermot Kennedy, which was super duper fun because Dermot writes these really beautifully crafted, positive songs about getting through rough times, and so do I. And I'm like, another person I should collab with in the future. And Shawn Mendes was really cool because I have been following his journey since I was 16 at We Day. And I saw him for free at 16 at We Day. Well, I was 17, he was 16. And like he was like on the very start. Like he had just got his first album out. He was just getting picked up as a singer. And no one knew who he was at We Day. And I was like taking videos. I'm like, this guy's going to be a star. Like I can feel this. All the girls already love him. And like, there he is. He's Shawn Mendes now. So really cool to see his growth too, you know?
Well, you shared a story with me just before we came on live. You were telling me that it all happened on social media. It's on TikTok that he got noticed, and well, it all took off from there. So how did that happen? Because you were following Shawn Mendes a lot more than I was. So what was the evolution, when he was on this platform to where he is today?
Well, I actually Googled it because I always like to know how people got to where they could get to in life because as an artist, I'm like, well, how do we get there? But it was interesting. Before they had TikTok, they had Vine, and he was just posting videos and building a fan base through the platform. And I think it's really cool that like over time and time again, he just kept growing and growing. And somehow he went from there to where he is today. And it's just really cool how he got picked up just making videos. And it just shows with social media, we have so many advantages to just create these videos today, to create like different stories about ourselves, to show who we are. And we never know who's going to find us that way. So I think that's really cool.
Well, that's a word of inspiration for the audience out there, because there's a lot of people, they're on social media and they're trying hard, they're doing their best to be noticed. Look at that. You got a fan who's tuning in from Los Angeles, our friend Raul. And we also
Hi.
had another great, a faithful Rob's Inner Circle audience member, Vicky Sankartse from Sudbury, Ontario, has tuned in. And a shout out as well to Jean Paul Rioux. These are the people who tune into our show very religiously, and we're very grateful for them to be part of our inner circle, if you'll pardon the pun.
Ching.
So tell us, how is it that Shawn Mendes has affected your life? Because from that first moment you saw him and till this past weekend, in between there, how much of an impact has Shawn Mendes had on your life?
Well, not like a huge impact, but I think watching any young artist and them grow, and I think just seeing the place he started and the place he went to is really cool. And I definitely do like his songs and his music. I think they're really cool. But I just think watching his journey and being an artist myself, watching any young artist journey that's like around the same age as you, guy or girl, you're like, it's another reminder I can get there. I can get, like, every step is just a step in the right direction to get where that artist got to. And I think that's kind of me with his journey. I'm like, he went from here to here and like he did it. So it shows anyone can do that. And that's that inspiration that like keeps you going. Cause there can be times where you're like, this is so hard and so stressful. And then you like sit in a concert arena and you're like, this is why we do it. Cause we love it. We love sharing our songs and our stories. And this is why we're an artist. And yeah.
You did something special out there. You of course you couldn't give it to him personally during the concert, but you actually had something that was taken to him. It's some kind of an invitation. You want to do a collab with him, a collaborative effort. So
I
what is it that you did exactly? Maybe you can share this with the audience here.
Yeah, okay, so my mom is always like, "Just, like, call up Justin Bieber and collab with him. Just call up Shawn Mendes, like, it's so easy, like,
It
just
is.
call up their manager and, like, he probably wants to write with you." So I was like, "Okay, mom, we're going to the concert." And I got an email that they're allowed to give gifts, so I wrote a letter and I put my card in it for my new song, and I said, "You should listen to my song," and he wrote a song called "Look Up at the Stars," and I wrote a song called "Look at the Stars," and I'm like, you know what? Like, we could collab. We're both thinking about the stars out here. And I also wrote how I've, again, been following him since I was 16. And it kind of terrifies me a bit. Like, it's such a personal letter to a stranger. But, like, I don't know. He could have opened it. He could have not have. I really don't know. But just, like, going forth and, like, making that connection and just doing it was really a cool thing to do. Like, you never know what can come from that experience. I was like, YOLO, we're just gonna get a card at the dollar store, write in it like we're best friends and have been friends for 12 years, and then tell you to email me back if you want to write a song together.
But you know what? Nothing is impossible. And if you
It's
put it out
true.
there, you put it out there, it can happen. And what you're saying is very interesting. But what happens out there, you and I know that very well. But there's all kinds of frequencies, variations. There's waves out there, sound waves, thought waves, and people actually emit these things through the universe. And eventually, someone's going to pick something up. Since you have a connection to him, it's not surprising that you are just about on the same or wavelength with not ever having met him. It's
Yeah,
really,
that's
really
true. That's
well,
interesting the way you put it. Yeah,
so be careful what you wish, be careful what you put out there because someone else might just come along and snatch your idea like that.
that's true.
Hello, Esther's Breeze. Thank you so much for tuning in. Esther, my wonderful co-host on Noon Hour Out of the Box and also Seriously Live with Jenny Delhaim. Thank you so much for tuning in, Esther. And thank you to all for tuning in. So tell us, what are your present aspirations right now, Tasha?
Honestly, the list of goals is so long. We have goals to be on Broadway. We have goals to maybe open for Taylor Swift or maybe now do a show with like Dermot Kennedy because I also love him. If you haven't heard his music, it's just very inspirational. So maybe me and him can go on a tour is what I was thinking on the weekend. A lot of right now goals is to get my song out to the world because it's just releasing like very freshly. And so all summer I will be making TikToks and be making videos and be telling people to listen to my song, to just get my song and get my music out there, and also just perform as many places as possible this summer and in the fall, just to get myself as an artist out there. So like short-term goals is get everything out there, and long-term goals like to space. If I can perform in space, like sign me up. I'm very much like whatever I can try to do with my life as a creative human being, I will try to do.
So you're part of the big records team. So how is it that this all came about? How were you introduced to big records? Where were you at the moment? How did it happen?
So I was actually in Nashville. I went to Nashville to record my entire album. I like worked and then I just flew to Nashville for 4 days because it's too expensive to stay in Nashville longer. And all we did was record my songs. I made 4 songs for like 12 hours a day. And I was talking to someone in Nashville about managing me. And while I was on the internet and like trying to think at night if I wanted to be managed by that person in Nashville on the internet, like it just popped up and I was just like some energy I felt with like this is like the direction to go in. And it's like I know that sounds weird and like crazy, but I was just like the energy of the Nashville like group of people just did not feel like it aligned. It was America. I was not in America. I did not want to fly back and forth to Nashville all the time when I could have like stayed home. And then I found like big records and I was like, this is Canada. This feels right. And instantly I was like messaging them while still trying to choose from all these other US people I was talking to. And I was like, Canada's where to start. This is in my city. And just like the energy after our first conversation, again, that's very like out there. I was like, this feels right in my heart, in my intuition. And I was like, this is where we start things. Like, no matter where we go from here, this is how to start it. And I'm so grateful that like I made that choice.
So in which way is big records collaborating with you?
Well, they are helping me so much. They are giving me so many opportunities that I couldn't find myself. They are giving me connections. They're giving me opportunities to perform and meet other songwriters and singers and just like people that are supporting my career, just to like remind you, you don't have to do everything alone all the time. So I really like how supportive the team is, how kind the people are around me, and how kind the team is, and how hard they're working towards helping me build my career versus doing it alone. Like it just shows you don't have to do everything alone. And again, super grateful to have found this team.
So who are the big record artists that you can relate to the most? Who are the ones who have been most inspiring to you?
Well, I think Serena's really inspiring because we're similar age groups, but just learning from her and what she does to get where she's going and her music and the songs she's written. And like you can always be inspired by different people, but it's like someone your age, like you kind of look up to them and are like, oh, this person, like I can learn this from them and like this is their story and they've gotten their stuff out there, and it's just cool to see people like a little bit ahead of you that you can learn from and be inspired by. So I thought she was pretty inspiring and cool to learn stuff from.
I remember backstage you were telling me that besides Serena Haggerty, there's also a fellow though who was like really, really prominent in the big records world, Mr. Tim Steinrich from the Mighty One. That's someone else you can relate to as well.
I think his music is so impactful, and it was so cool to be on a tour with someone that has been doing things for so much longer than me and been on this planet so much longer than me. Like, man, he has life experience like pretty strongly, and it was cool to hear his songs, to learn from him, to talk to him, to spend time touring with him, and just like how kind he is, how big of a heart he has to deal with all of us crazy people every night on the tour, and then how his music is so impactful and the stories he's telling with his songs that are coming out is just really inspiring, and I can connect to it too. So yeah, everyone on that tour was incredible. We were all so different, but like I just felt like we all had to come together in this moment, and I'm so glad it was that group of people that I got put on a tour with.
Yeah, well, Tim Steinrich was one of our guests on our show here at Rob's Inner Circle. And also, there's one left that you may have overlooked.
Oh,
But
Kylie, yo,
yes,
yeah.
Kylie Stiles, another guest on our show. Talk to us about Kylie and how it is that he influenced you.
Honestly, his music is so good, and he is just very incredibly talented. He's a hard worker, he's so driven, he is always hustling, and I loved, again, learning from him, watching him play on stage and be like, okay, this person's like ahead of me in their journey, but again, what can I learn from them? Like his presence on stage and the energy he gives when he plays his songs. Really cool again. We even wrote a song together in the RV.
Oh, nice.
It was very chaotic about things falling out of the fridge. We wrote it with Serena too. They all love it. Like, just ask them. They're waiting for that song to go viral. But
So, is it going to come out sometime soon?
oh, one day. It's a very funny song. The concept was things kept falling out of the fridge on the tour. And then I decided, like, what if we make things falling out of a fridge a metaphor for when things go wrong in life? So instead of like, I like missed my bus, it was like the strawberries fell on the floor. I don't want to hear it anymore. There's the door. It was, but literally, and it was like, I hope I can close the fridge tomorrow, but it was like a metaphor. The fridge is a metaphor because, like, the fridge is a metaphor for things going wrong in life. This is the best idea for a song if anyone ever needs it. But yeah.
So you embarked on the Rise Up Maritime Tour, and
Mhm.
when did it take place, and where was the departure point?
Okay, so June 5th, I left and I flew overnight from Abbotsford to Toronto. I switched airports again in Toronto because why not? That's how to live your best life, flying. And then I rolled into Halifax early in the morning on the 7th. No, on the 6th. On the 6th, yes. So yeah, I left from Abbotsford and we flew into Halifax.
So when you got to the Maritimes, what was the itinerary like? So you got there. What did you spend the day relaxing, recovering? I guess it must have been some kind of jet lag in there. And then what?
Okay, so yeah, definitely slept for like 24 hours because we were so tired after that. The amount of airlines we like switched on, so I slept for like the whole day. And then I got like that adrenaline like, oh, we're going on tour soon, and then I was like practicing my guitar. And then the tour officially started the 7th, and it was just like go go go. Like, we'd leave in the morning, we'd drive there, we'd grab breakfast, we'd have a break, we'd get in, we'd set up, we'd go eat dinner, then we'd do our shows and be up really late every night. And it was like 5 days of that, which kind of prepares you for, again, being on a tour for like every day of the year, you know? Like, those mini tours really prepare you if like you want to tour with Dermot and Sean, who are calling me up on the phone. Like, it prepares you though for like that resilience and like that like passion to just like go go go, you know? So that was what was really cool about the tour, is like you really learn what it was like to just have that constant like lifestyle, I guess, for like a tidbit of time.
So in which towns did you play in the Maritimes?
We played in Halifax, we played in Fredericton, Charlottetown, PEI, Miramichi. Those are mostly the towns, yeah.
So, in comparison to your previous concerts, how special was this maritime concert to you? Because you told me a couple of anecdotes that happened while you were there. You were just blown away with the hospitality that you got from the people down there. So, relate to us some of the stories, some of the things that you actually experienced there, which made your life just so beautiful while you were there.
I literally, Miramichi is one to remember because how kind the people were there. And like, I live in Vancouver where it rains a lot, and people can just kind of be cold sometimes and not very like approachable and easy to talk to. And I found being in the Maritimes, like, the people were just the opposite vibe. You could just like call someone up, you could just talk to someone. People would just sit with you and be like, oh, do you want a drink? Do you want food? And it wasn't because they were trying to like get something from you. Like, just like genuine human compassion and kindness that you don't always see in other parts of Canada was something I really found I was experiencing being in the Maritimes. And it's really interesting to go to one side of Canada and be from the other side and just see how different people are, you know?
So, you're living in Vancouver right now, like you just said. If you were to move, let's say in the Maritimes, because that's a place I guess you can almost call your second home by now. If you were to move somewhere to the Maritimes, is there a particular spot that you would love to settle in?
Oh my goodness, that's such a move. I maybe maybe New Brunswick. I think New Brunswick, like kind of near Miramichi, like would be cool to again go play in again and meet more people, just because of how kind and bubbly those people were, and the connections we made in that town were unlike any other town kind of we were in this whole trip. So yeah, maybe like New Brunswick, but that'd be a very big move, sir.
Well, to the audience who's just tuned in, tonight's guest on Rob's Inner Circle, she's a threat. She is a dancer, a singer, and she's also an actress, Tasha Hillman from Vancouver, British Columbia. Thank you to everyone for tuning in. And folks, like always, you are welcome to come up with some questions. You want to ask our guest some questions, feel free. She'll be more than happy to oblige. Is it career oriented? If you wanted to know what maybe if there's a new album coming out, anything you want to know, you go ahead and you ask our guest tonight. She'll be more than obliged. So that Maritime Tour, talk to us in terms of how much of a boost was it for your I wouldn't say ego, but for your morale. How much of a push did it give you? Is it like making you think of aiming even higher now because you got that boost?
Yeah, literally, I like got home and like I got home really late too. We took more overnight flights in case anyone's wondering. Highly don't recommend doing that. But I got home and I was like, "Okay, I want to start performing places." I started emailing like everyone. I was like, can I play here? Can I do this? Can I busk here?" And I just like got back and it was like I think that tour was a really like big like reminder you can do this. You can do this with your life. It is possible to do this. You just have to like believe you can do this, and this whole tour was kind of proof that like you can do this with your life.
Our friend from Los Angeles, Raul, just said goodbye. He tuned in. Thank you so much, Raul, for tuning in. So nice of you. Bye
Bye,
bye.
thank you for
Yes.
coming.
Thank you for coming, Raul. Okay, so tell us, Tasha, let's go back to your childhood. Tell us what it was like growing up in the Hillman household as a child. What kind of a childhood did you have?
uh well, interesting. Okay, that's a loaded question. I will answer that as best as I can. So definitely I was like the artistic one in the family. My parents were like wondering like what I was doing. Like I was a very shy kid, but I was a very artistic kid. So I like wouldn't talk to people. Like there would be like no one I you could not make me talk to someone. There was like one scenario where I wouldn't get in the water to swim with my family because I was scared of the water and scared of my family. I was scared of my relatives, but like I would be like drawing and like humming songs, and I like wrote a song when I was like 7 about Britney Spears going up my ears, and like I knew this is like what I wanted to do. And like my mom started putting me in dance classes and getting me to go to like auditions, and like she's like, get this child to like be normal because she's so shy and scared of people. And literally it took me like all of high school to overcome shyness. Like literally people in high school that like saw me today, well, I probably wouldn't talk to those people, but like they'd be like, this is not who you were in high school. Like you couldn't have got me to talk to people. But when I found like acting in high school, like I started auditioning and I started finding more creative people, and I started finding an outlet to express myself and to connect with people. And like this person that was so shy before became this like person that didn't feel like she needed to be shy, or she found reasons to talk and speak her truth. Like even today, I guess I'm still kind of a shy person if like it's a stranger, but like you find like reasons that you want to talk about things and stories you want to tell. And I find being outgoing is more fun than being shy nowadays. But I like meet shy people and I'm like, no, I understand why you don't want to talk to people. That was me for like literally like 16 years of my life, probably. That's a long time to be so shy and quiet.
You've come a long way, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So, as you were growing up, were there any indications that you had a love for music at an early age? Yes, you wrote your first song at 7 years old, but that may not be enough to be convincing enough to say that you have a love for music. Besides, writing that song about Britney Spears, what early indications were there that might have tipped off your parents, saying, "Hey, she's good with music. We should do something about it."
So I decided that I would make my first singing like appearance for the world globally at Girl Guides and Brownies, and I was still this really shy kid, but I sang Complicated by Avril Lavigne, and like again was still the shy kid, so I'm standing with the microphone terrified of the world, but like that moment and when I started dancing and when I started doing those things, that was a huge sign that like she loves music, like she loves listening to music. Growing up, I'd listen to so much music. I really though got more into writing songs like in my teens than I did as a kid, but as a kid I was like starting to karaoke and starting to sing songs everywhere. And like maybe I just sing them at home because I was still too shy to like sing them to the world, but I started taking up like in like middle school, I guess I started taking up like musicals and choir, and I like just slowly started like dipping my foot into the water. And then high school's like, we're all in, we're ready, we're gonna be a artist. Like it doesn't matter what people say. Like we are gonna be a singer, we are gonna be a dancer, we are gonna be an actor. We love it. It makes us feel better to have this outlet from everything that goes on in life to release it into the world through all these outlets of things.
So it started off with the song "Complicated" by Avril Lavigne, and you are a big Avril Lavigne fan. Which other songs can you relate to? For a fact, my daughter was a huge Avril Lavigne fan. She loved songs like "Keep Going On," "Skater Boy." This is all stuff that was pushed on me, like it or not. I'd be like hearing it like 6, 7 times a day playing. So, which other songs besides "Complicated" can you relate to from Avril Lavigne?
Yeah, so I got into Avril Lavigne because I had a babysitter that played it in the car when I was like 7, and I was like instantly obsessed, and then I like never didn't want to hear it. And that was at like 7, 6 or 7, and then for life. So I love Keep Holding On. I love Innocence. I sang it at a singing competition. We got first place. Woo woo. Um, I love Smile. I love Girlfriend. I love The Best Damn Thing. I love Tomorrow, which is like one of her older songs. And Complicated again. Skater Boy has always been one of my favorites as well. So is Keep Holding On. Also When You're Gone. Like we love them all. I've seen Avril Lavigne live I think 3 times, and I saw
Wow.
her when I was like 10 or 11, but then I saw her again really recently and like 12 years later, and I was like, holy, like I still love all these songs. I still know all these words. I still love and idolize this human being, like no matter how long it's been. And yeah, just her music. I've just always loved it. Like it's just always just been in my head. So that won't end anytime soon.
So to all you Canadians out there, you have something to be proud of. She's a byproduct from Napanee, Ontario. So Avril Lavigne, good on you. Hats off. Another great Canadian artist. And there's another artist you can relate to that you were telling me. She's half American and half Canadian. She is
Half American and half Canadian. Who's this artist?
Alanis Morissette.
Can I relate to Amanda Morrissette?
You probably didn't know that.
I didn't know she was American and Canadian. That's cool.
She's half and half. And Alanis Morissette. She's another one of your favorite singers.
She is. Yes, I do like her. I like the song Ironic. And I like that she actually just released a musical called Jagged Little Pill. And again, it like had like Hand in Your Pocket. It had like more of her songs. And so for my generation who didn't completely like grow up on all of her songs, they're being like re-put out into the world for those people that have never heard them before. So that's really cool. But I really like how she writes songs. And yeah, we'd love to collab with her too. Like that'd be a cool thing. So yeah.
Is she still active?
I think so. I still listen to Ironic, so
Isn't it ironic?
don't you think?
Great. That's a great follow up on your part there. So tell us, as you were growing up and you're going through all these arts and all that, your parents were supportive, but just how supportive were they? Up to which extent were they supportive?
Oh no, they've been like incredibly supportive. They like haven't always understand what I'm doing, but like 17-year-old me was like, "Oh, I guess I'll go to Miss Canada and go sing." And then, "Oh, I guess I'll go do the singing competition. Oh, I guess like I'll go to LA to do this musical theater camp." And they're just like, "Okay, like we're going to support you. Of course, I've also worked my way up to be doing it. And I remember at 16 and 17, I would start helping to pay for my solos and pay so I can continue doing this. But they're at every show. They're always supportive. My mom is always telling me to call up Shawn Mendes and sending me every opportunity possible. Yeah, my parents are hugely supportive of what I do. And so I'm so grateful for that, because you really need a supportive group of people to be an artist. It's not an easy route. It's not like, boom, I'm famous and I know Shawn Mendes. It's really a lot of roller coasters, but you really need a core group of people that will constantly support you on your worst and good days. And my mom and dad will 100% do that. So
You are
super
so
grateful
blessed.
for that.
You are so blessed to have supportive parents, and it isn't given to everyone, and it's those who have supportive parents that go the farthest. But then again, you always hear these stories. There's always someone coming out of the shell. What they had no support whatsoever from anybody, and they made it. So hats off to them, even though without support. Good on them. So tell us about your high school years. What were they like?
That's true. Well, that was a great time. A high school me, again, very shy, very not popular. 14-year-old me decided that I was too shy, so I went and I auditioned to be Academy, where we did a musical year, and I ended up doing theater company that year. And I was dancing 6 days a week because I thought I wanted to be a ballerina, which I kind of did, but I also wanted to do 7 other things. But high school, again, I really started writing songs. And because I always felt like I was this outcast person that no one really understood, I didn't want to do what other people in high school wanted to do. I wanted to sit in a field and write songs, or I was just very different. I wasn't this typical person. Also, a lot was going on at home that most people my age didn't have to deal with, which we won't get into, but just I had a lot going on at home. And I found my outlet for expressing it in music. I found my outlet for expressing it in theater. I found my outlet for expressing it in dance. And all those outlets I had kept me just calm and sane. And high school is not made for everyone. Some people are made for high school and some people are made for after high school. And I never thought I was made for high school. I thought I was made for the world outside of high school. So once you get into that world, I really was this is where I can thrive. But high school was not really where I could thrive as a person, except as an artist. But yeah.
So, which music genres do you prefer?
I like pop.
Oh, our connection has frozen up. Unfortunately, we have a little
I
glitch
love
in the system. Okay. Tasha, can you hear us? Tasha? Okay, we have a momentary glitch on the show. We apologize for that. Our guest tonight is Tasha Hillman. She's a triple threat. She's a dancer, a singer-songwriter, an actress. And Tasha, if you can hear us anyhow, can you hear us now? Are you back?
Yeah. I don't know. It just froze for a millisecond.
Okay, fantastic. Well, we're glad to have you back. Sorry about that. There's a ghost in the machine.
Ooh.
So, Tasha, you obviously play guitar. Did you take any guitar lessons?
I did. I took guitar in high school. We actually got forced to play it in 7th grade as a musical instrument for a week. And then at 16, I was I really want to learn guitar. Well, at 17, I was I want to learn guitar to emphasize my singing, and I want to be able to play all these songs on guitar. And then I didn't take it for a few years, and then I got back into it recently. And my guitar teacher is not just a good guitar teacher. He's just a spiritual human that we connect on a deep soul level. And so I'm grateful for him as a teacher now, but also just a human that we can talk about the entire.
Oh, there we go. We got the glitch again. Tasha, can you hear me?
World. I can.
Okay, Tasha, you know what? I'm going to ask you. Can you still hear me? Tasha, if you can hear me, if you can hear me, Tasha, I'm going to ask you to log out and come right back in. We're going to reboot the system, and I'm going to keep the audience. I'm going to keep going with the audience. So, can I ask you to log out and log right back in? I hope she heard that. Our guest tonight on Rob's Inner Circle. Yes, she did hear me, obviously. Thank you so much, Tasha. She'll be back shortly. She's going to be rebooting. Our guest tonight is a talented performer from Vancouver, British Columbia. Her name is Tasha Hillman. She's a triple threat. She's a singer, songwriter, an actress, and a dancer. A very talented young performer. She's part of the Big Records family, which is out in Vancouver, BC. It's headed by Mark Rosner. He's the head of the Big Records team, and they have great artists signed to the labels such as Tim Steinruck. There's also Kylie Styles, both of which have appeared on Rob's Inner Circle. So Tasha is back with us, thankfully. Tasha, nice to have you back.
Hi.
Rock on.
Fingers crossed.
So Tasha, you said you play guitar, you went to guitar school, and obviously practicing guitar it's a must. You have to do it. How do you make practicing guitar and all of the other arts that you perform in, how do you make that fun? Oh, she's frozen up again. Darn it, darn it, darn it. This ghost, we're going to have to get a Ghostbuster in here and get rid of this ghost. Jeez. Okay, so Tasha, hopefully she'll be back very soon. We were asking Tasha, she took guitar lessons, and we were asking her how it is that she makes practicing fun, because it could be a little bit repetitive. And Tasha's back. Tasha.
Yeah, it leaves for like a second and then it comes back. We're here now.
Okay.
I don't know.
Well, okay. So how do you make practicing fun?
Okay, so I'm a Virgo, so we love practicing, and we
Oh boy, so we're having a real glitch here tonight. We're sorry, we apologize.
love
Folks,
working on stuff.
okay, so you're back. So Tasha, if you can hear me, lift up your finger if you can hear me. No, she can't. Oh boy. Okay. Okay, so folks, while we figure this all out, Tasha, please, once again, okay, I'm going to ask you to log out and come back in. In the meantime, we're going to be showing your acting demo to the audience. Stand by, folks. This is Tasha Hillman from Vancouver, BC tonight.
No one can save me. I'll never be okay. I'll never be okay. I'm only one day away from killing myself. Any day could be my last. I want to give up. Please, let me give up.
No, I'm not a lesbian. I'm just not comfortable being someone's girlfriend. I don't want to be anyone's anything.
I don't understand that. I don't know what you're talking about.
It sounds selfish, but relationships are messy. Feelings are always getting hurt. Who needs all that? We're in one of the most beautiful cities in the world. Why not have as much fun as we can and save the serious shit for later?
See, I'm such a bad influence. It's only a matter of time before I do something so messed up, everyone turns on not only me, but you too. It's only a matter of time before I hurt someone else.
Don't quit us, Mom. I love you. Don't you love me?
I have to take myself out of the picture because it's what's best for you. I have to just let go.
Mom, no, please.
I can't do this anymore.
That's a great demo, Tasha, and we're glad to have you back. Hopefully, the ghost is gone. Let's keep our fingers and our toes crossed. Tasha,
Fingers crossed. I don't.
Tasha, we asked you, we don't know if you have any other devices that are open that may be interfering as well. So you probably want to shut down everything, any devices using up Wi-Fi, because that's probably the cause of slowing everything down. Maybe your phone, if you have an iPad open.
No, that's it. I didn't have my phone on before. Yeah. Is that?
That's probably the glitch. Let's see.
Oh, really? Okay.
Okay, well, there you go. It's better. Okay, so let's keep that great recipe with us. Tasha, tell us how difficult it is to learn to play the guitar.
It's incredibly hard. I mean, it's also painful on your hands, but it's just hard because there's so many like mental blocks and you're like, I want to be good at this. I want to
be like the best. I want to be able to do this really well. But I guess like it's just constant effort and practice to get better at it.
Do you prefer the acoustic to the electric guitar?
Yes, I prefer acoustic.
Have you ever played the electric guitar?
I haven't, but I have one that I got for $5 at a garage sale.
And you haven't played it yet?
Have never touched it.
Well, you never touched it. Just letting you know, I'm a guitar player myself. And
Oh,
once you
cool.
play, well, like I was telling you like a while back, the classical guitar has got the biggest neck, and the frets are the ones that are really stretched out, and it's got these nylon strings on it. That is the hardest guitar to play. When you go from that classical guitar down to an acoustic guitar with the metal strings, the neck is a little smaller and the frets are a little closer. It's even easier. But when you go from an acoustic to an electric, even better, because the neck is smaller, the frets are even closer, and it's like it's a field day. It's great. So if ever you want to make the conversion, or if you want to add playing electric guitar to your to your arsenal of instruments, it's going to be very easy for you.
Sounds good.
So besides the guitar, which other instruments do you play?
I played clarinet in 8th grade, and then I played it again when I had a commercial audition to play it 10 years later, as you do as an artist. And ukulele a little bit. It's kind of a bit like guitar. It's just less frets, but it's again really pretty. I got like the cheapest ukulele I could find, and I was kind of like plucking around with it with a friend. And I really, really love the song "Somewhere Over the Rainbow" because I grew up again watching Wizard of Oz and like Judy Garland, and like so I was trying to learn "Somewhere Over the Rainbow" on the ukulele, but we haven't done it in a minute. But I love ukulele as well, and I want to learn piano better because I'm not the best at piano. But I was watching Shawn Mendes on stage play "Look Up at the Stars" on piano. I'm like, I want to do that too. We never stop out here.
The general theme of your songwriting, is it related to your family life, the events that you've experienced in your life? Is it about scenery? Is it about portraits? What's the general theme about your songwriting style?
A lot of my songwriting, I try to come from a positive place, but I basically take something I've been through and I craft it into a song, and then the songs I end up wanting to share are the ones I feel like mean the most to me and can mean the most to someone else. But it really is a very personal place that all my songs come from, because like songwriting has helped me through all these things I've had to go through. And songwriting has been my outlet through the painful and the good times. And so when I'm sharing a song, I'm like, this song got me through this specific time in my life. And I'm hoping that whoever needs that song will find it, just like I find music when I need it. And I have so many songs like Let It Be by the Beatles that like I just find when I need it, or Imagine by John Lennon. And it's just like, you never know how a song can help you or influence you in the moment. So yeah.
Do you have any plans in the near future of doing some more touring, be it in Canada, in the US, perhaps Mexico, South America, or anywhere else in the world?
I would love to. I mean, I'm working on it. I would love to book that and just start going different places in the world and getting my song out in different places and building a fan base. Like that was the thing about the tour, is I started building a fan base in that city and with those people. And I just want to keep doing that and just keep building a fan base from people all over the world. I think that's 100% with the internet and with social media. Like that's a huge goal of mine right now, is to build the fan base.
I just know the feeling when you're on stage and the audience is singing along to your songs. It's just a big party. I can just imagine how much warmth that brings to your heart. And that's a, that feeling in itself is a drug. You get used to that. You're going to want that time after time after time again, because it's a connection with the audience, which is just so great. They become part of your, I don't know if it's the same for you, but a lot of artists have told me that you become part of a huge family. Is that the way you feel?
I think so. And I think like that's the thing about when I was at the concert and we're all just like singing the songs, like it shows like we're all connected in this moment. Doesn't matter what our lives are outside of this moment, but we're all connected. And if I can have those moments with people with my songs, that would be really cool.
So being a musician is very it's a struggle at times. It's very hard to make a living off it and all that. And a lot of these artists have to have side jobs, other things to live off of. How challenging is it for you, or can you say that you're doing pretty well for yourself?
Oh yeah, no, it's definitely a challenge. It's very up and down. Like I find as an artist, whether a dancer, singer, an actor, there's some months where you just get a bunch of work in your field, and there's some months you do not get as much, and you constantly have to be paying your bills and balancing yourself. And there is
Yeah.
always money that you have to be putting into acting, singing, dancing, music. Like, so it's a lot of hustling. Like, I remember I worked 2 different jobs at 21 for a while, and then I switched around well, I switched probably at, like, 21 to actually doing brand ambassador work and temporary work, so I have my time to really actually focus my energy towards this career. But I'm always picking up different jobs, whether it's being a mascot as a bear, which is what I'm doing right now, or whether it's like serving dinners at like a concert. Like I'm always balancing work and my passion so that my passion can be the biggest thing in my life and the work can just be suffice me getting by, you know?
Do you find that there is a lack of resources for aspiring musicians out there?
I don't feel like there's a lack of resources as much as like a lack of which way to go. And that's why I think how having a team helps, because like there's like places and on the internet of like resources, but you're like, should I do this? Should I be focusing on my TikTok? Should I be focusing on Facebook? Should I be trying to get my songs out there? And like really the reality is you kind of have to be doing all of it. But sometimes you're just like, what should I be doing? Can't like you can't really take a break because there's a lot to be doing at all times for this career, but you also have to be able to like take breaks and balance yourself out. So there's a bit of a lack of like, where am I supposed to go every day as an artist with this, you know?
So as we saw your demo reel, you're also an actress.
Hmm.
So at which point did you discover you said, "Hey, you know what? I want to go into acting." At which point is it that you discovered this?
So 5-year-old me got taken to a commercial audition for L'Oreal Kids shampoo. It was like I never used to like washing my hair, but now I can't stop washing my hair with L'Oreal Kids shampoo. I love it and your kids will love it too. And again, I was really shy at that age, but I got taken to this commercial audition. And then like in that moment, like it was kind of like a big like, oh, I'm this cute kid that can say words, cool. But I didn't really like pursue acting more as a kid as much as I started as a teen. I would like go to auditions to get over my shyness, and like I wanted to do it, but I like again hadn't fully like put my foot into it. So it was high school theater. I was like, we did Beauty and the Beast, I did Bye Bye Birdie, I did Romeo and Juliet, I did Hamlet, and just like the energy and the stories you can tell with acting, I was like, I love musical theater, and like my trump to be a ballerina and my trump to do musical theater, like musical theater instantly outweighed wanting to be a ballerina. And I was like, I love it's like the feeling of being on stage and again connecting with people that comes from doing a show and doing a monologue, and the feelings that you can put into acting is I think the big reason I love it too.
So you did some plays and you were telling me that something really bad happened, but through that incident that happened while the performance was going on, something magical happened and you did something magical to finish off that performance. So what is it that happened that you can share with the audience?
Oh, right. Oh my goodness. It's like, what did I tell you last week? Yeah, I did. Okay, so Romeo and Juliet, Lady Capulet cut her hand because a mirror broke, like on stage, and it was like a mess in itself. Well, I forget if it was either backstage or on stage, but either way, we had to get rid of the Lady Capulet because she had to go to the hospital because a
Oh,
mirror broke and she cut her hand. And then we did the rest of this matinee for like children that were like under 16. They were watching Romeo and Juliet for the first time. Little did they know that Lady Capulet was gone the entire show, and we did an entire other half of the show without the Lady Capulet because she was at the hospital, and it was literally like, get on stage, get off stage, she's not there, that scene's off. And within like 5 minutes we revamped the entire show. We're like, 1 2 3, let's go team. And we did Romeo and Juliet without Lady Capulet. And I guess doing a show without a main character that's that important really shows like when life gives you a challenge, like how you just have to work with it. And I think if you have that resilience to finish a show like that, you have a resilience to do a lot of things in life, you know?
So while you were on stage, you and a bunch of the friends performing in another play went skating without really having signed up for skating lessons. What happened with that one?
Okay, so we used Dry Ice and Bye Bye Birdie, and we were at the ice house, but they just like used way too much ice that night. And we were literally on stage for like a 1 minute scene. Like we were just all the girls running on stage to be like Conrad Birdie and our friend Kim. And because of the dry ice, like the lead fell, and then the second person fell, and then the third person fell, and then the fourth
Oh, geez.
person fell. And everyone was just falling on stage and like trying to get up, but it was so slippery, they kept falling down. So that entire 1 minute scene that was supposed to be about having fun, dancing in the ice house, it was just everyone falling down. And it was pretty funny because we literally did get through that scene, but it was just like, even when we started dancing, it was still so slippery that it was like, okay, we have to get through this scene. We're still here. Like, let's pretend we didn't fall on stage and get up, dust yourself off, and do the lines, and then don't go off the same way because dry ice is very dangerous.
Is the Phantom of the Opera a musical theater play you enjoy?
I saw it for the first time during COVID and I loved it. The story, the painful, tragic story of it is so beautiful. The songs are so beautiful. Andrew Lloyd Webber was actually putting on free shows like from New York on YouTube, and I watched it with my mom, and yeah, it was an incredible show.
So in terms of, because you love musicals, you were saying you like musicals, a classical version such as a Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. There's a Sound of Music, Oliver, The Wizard of Oz, to name a few. But you prefer those older musicals to what is going on today?
I do.
Or-
Like,
You do?
I love like Carousel. I love like the musicals that are like from way back. I love watching Judy Garland. I grew up again watching Shirley Temple, who was like way back. Like I idolized Shirley Temple as a kid. And yeah, I love that energy of like those older actors. Audrey Hepburn as well. I love watching her movies. Anything just not from this century is like what I'm into. It's because I'm an old soul, you see. But really, we gravitate towards those older things.
Well, you take Glee, the TV show, which first aired in 2009. That's already 13 years it's been going. This is an example of modern musicals. Is Glee a show that you can relate to?
I love Glee. I love how versatile the song was. I didn't watch Glee when it came out because I was too young, and my parents were like, you can't watch Glee. But I watched it during, I guess, the last 2 years during quarantine, and I was like, yeah, it's a lot of like life problems and a song to get through the life problem, which everyone wants. And it would be really cool if they had more musical theater shows coming out in the future, and if I could just keep auditioning for those because I love those. And I love how they affect and impact people too. Like a just nice show to just come home to and like watch them sing your favorite songs.
So, which dancing disciplines do you prefer?
I love ballet, lyrical, tap, and musical theater, but lyrical is my top because it's dancing all your emotions out in a song, which is just really fun.
Okay, and how about TV shows? Is there a TV show that has to do anything with dancing that you really like to watch?
Dance Moms, but I wasn't allowed to watch it as a teen because I was told I'd become a bad like a snobby dancer if I watched it. But I loved watching the dance routines on that show.
So, judging from the conversation we've had tonight, I would take a shrewd and educated guess that Broadway is something you would love to be doing one day.
100%.
Is there a Broadway show in particular that really set you off saying, wow, this is like way out of this world?
Actually, I got to go to New York and I saw the Carole King show. Again, another singer not from my time. And I was like, that was incredible. But I also saw Wicked for the first time. That was amazing. What else did I see there? I saw Dear Evan Hansen in like the Vancouver Cross Canada production. Loved that. There's just so many musicals I love. And I'm like, I'd love to be in this. I'd love to be in Beauty and the Beast as Belle. I've auditioned for that, and we will
Oh.
keep going for that. And also Dorothy in Wizard of Oz is another like dream role out to the universe today.
So, as a triple threat artist, what's your typical day like? Because you got to find some time to sing, you got to find some time to play guitar, you got to find time to dance, and also your auditions, acting, and all that. Let's say you get up in the morning, it's what, 7 o'clock, you have your coffee. What's a typical day like?
I definitely don't get up at 7, but I get up at like 10. But yeah, so I meditate every morning, always, like whether it's manifestation or anxiety or let go of stress or like whatever, just I always meditate. It's usually manifestation because we have lots of things we want to happen in life. And then I journal. And I learned this in school. It was in the Artist's Way with Julia Cameron in acting school, to write 750 words and just release anything you feel. If you're mad at your parents, if the dog got mad at you, like whatever has happened like last night or whatever is on your mind, like negative energy and thoughts, you write it all on paper. And by writing those 3 pages, either consciously or unconsciously, you just release all those words into the universe, and like then like you kind of start your day on a blank slate. And then I typically eat breakfast, open my emails. If I have a bunch of auditions, I start prepping when I'll tape them with which reader. And then I start hustling, freelancing, submitting music stuff out. I start sending emails. I start finding work, sending voiceover stuff, like whatever type of stuff I have to do. Just a lot of freelancing. Then I practice guitar and singing. And I've been live streaming on TikTok recently to, again, try and grow and connect with people, posting on Instagram. Like there's just all the social media of being an artist. And then I usually spend my evening dancing for like 3 to 5 hours.
Wow.
And then I like go to bed and do it again the next day. And if I have work that day, I just like fit the work in there too.
So you sound busy.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot of balancing. I really am trying to balance spending time with friends versus just being an artist versus having to work. That is always a constant thing that I struggle with.
So, how do you find time to be a couch potato?
I mean, I sleep at night and I meditate in the morning. Sometimes I take naps. Sometimes I do take, like, I find if I get too stressed about something, if I don't take a break, it will not go the way I want it. So sometimes I'll take like a 20-minute nap, or I'll take 20 minutes off to like do something else. And then I find when you go away from something and then you come back to it, it's way easier to tackle. Like even today at the dance studio, I was frustrated. I'm like, okay, I'm going to put my hands together. I'm just going to like sit and breathe for a couple minutes. Then I'm going to go back to doing this dance. And the energy was just different, you know? So sometimes you have to take those breaks. Sometimes I meditate in the middle of the day too if I'm stressed. Like, yeah, different things that help, you know?
You're incredibly busy. Wow. I don't know how you do it. But then again, you're young. You can do it. You know, at my age, I can't do all that anymore.
I take lots of naps. That's my life advice for anyone in their 20s.
Tasha, where has this hour gone? It looks as if it was only 23 minutes.
Wild.
It just went by so fast. This was so entertaining. So, Tasha, to close off the show over here, tell us what your philosophy on life is. What's your vision, all about life? What is it?
Wild, right. I did this. I think one of my things is you never know how doing something can help someone. And something I truly believe in, a principle I live by, is everything, like every day is a chance to make a difference, whether it's in someone's life, whether it's with your music. Like today, for example, I just gave someone an iced tea because I was like, they don't have anything. If I can do this to help them, I want to do it. And so whether it's with friends or family or people or my music or my art, if I can do something every day to help make the world a better place or to make a difference in someone's life for the better, I will constantly just try to do that. So that's a principle, is like kindness, and then also being grateful for the people that do that for you on your harder days. I really think that is a way to live and to make the world a better place, like one tiny step at a time.
Tasha, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
And if you want to address the audience, this is your moment.
Thank you, everyone, for coming. I'm Tasha Hillman. My artist name is TG Starlight, and I'm releasing a song called Look at the Stars, so look for it everywhere soon.
So Tasha, stand by for the meet and greet as we sign off for the show.
Sounds
We're gonna
good.
be we're gonna be hanging out for a little while still. So
Sounds good.
don't go anywhere. Stay right where you are. I will be right back. There you have it, everybody. That was our guest tonight, Tasha Hillman from Vancouver, British Columbia. She's a triple threat, a singer, a songwriter. She's a dancer and also an actress. Noon Hour Out of the Box will be on a hiatus until the end of July for summer holidays. However, our podcast that airs on accessradio.ca will be replaced by Esther's Breeze show between noon and 3 p.m. Her next guest will be Patty Negri, the Good Witch and Psychic Medium. Be sure to check that show out this upcoming Saturday. Rob's Inner Circle will also be taking a small break. Join us once again on August 1st when we will meet with record producer Richard Oliver. Don't forget to go to our new channel at Seriously Live on Facebook and click that follow button and never miss what is new in the city of Montreal. Have a great vacation, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to Rob's Inner Circle. And just before we go, Jenny, myself, and Esther with the Seriously Live broadcast team, we will be coming to you live from Les Foufounes Electriques this upcoming Friday, July 8th. And we're going to be there for Exciter, a heavy metal Canadian band from Ottawa. It's going to be absolutely exciting. We just hope you're going to be tuning in. We're going to be interviewing the band. We're going to be interviewing some other special guests we're going to have along. So it's going to be a great show. Everybody, thank you so much. We're going to be seeing you on August 1st. You're the best. You make this all happen for us. God bless. See you soon.